Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 12th going to the 18th of December. So let's have a little look together and see what's going on for you guys. See what's happening for you guys. For Scorpio, please, Spirit. Okay, very nice. I'm getting this energy of just floating, kind of just being there, not being entirely stable in your current situation. There is a lot of unanswered questions in terms of where you're going in life. That's why I really feel like where you're going right now. But I feel like we're having to adjust to this energy. Now, things will change eventually, but what I'm seeing is that Spirit's asking for you to be flexible at this time in terms of having kind of not loose expectations. Of course, have your goals, have your dreams, have your expectations of where you want your life to go, but in terms of timing and in terms of how you might be able to get there, be flexible with this, because I do see you dodging bullets, meaning that things might not work for you, but that actually is a good thing, because this wasn't the right thing. This would have ended up in more chaos, more drama, or more disappointment. So kind of being understanding with the universe and with situations this week is going to be very important for you. So just remember that. Number 7 is coming up for you guys, okay? Alright, so Scorpio. Okay. We have 3 cards to use. We'll go with it. I'm saying that because these 2 cards came out together, and I always say when they come out together, they're like a joint message. And this is interesting because one of your keywords this week, Scorpio, is fear. And an affirmation for this week is, I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. And fear coming through is just like a barrier that it seems that we have to cross. Then we have denial. So this says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So it's these coming out together. They have like it. It's like a message. You guys might be in denial about some fears here, but this is about acknowledging that this fear is here for a reason, so that you can challenge yourself to live in the energy of love, or to, we'll see what that fear is about. Maybe it's because things are unstable. So what the universe is doing is making you face a fear here that you had. All right, not to be in denial of that fear, not to lie to yourself, not to lie to others. Well, about what it is that's making you fearful, but to acknowledge it and understand, okay, I'm in this situation, I feel uncomfortable because I don't feel supported, or I don't feel like I'm in the right place right now. But when you are aware of this, you're more able to actually, again, replace it with the insight of awareness. So there's a message there. I probably will come back to these 2. So, but I just want to pull the rest of the cards out, because I'm sure it will help us in understanding what this is. But I feel like you're having to really trust in the universe when it comes down to your decisions in life right now. Like, there's not a lot of control coming through in your life. That's what it feels like. All right, 6 of Swords. All right, let's see. Current energy, please, for Scorpio. All right, there's definitely some travel coming through for you guys. Could be physical travel. You guys could be moving here. But I kind of see, I see some traveling coming through, like literal movement. Okay, anything else? Okay, very nice. Just this little bit here. Okay. All right, let's speak about what I see, and I'm going to elaborate on this because I feel like there's more messages. There's a lot coming through for you guys, okay? So I'm just we're gonna wing it in this reading, okay? And that may be your motto right now, is just going with the flow, which I think is very important. And I kind of think some of you don't really have a choice but to kind of go with the flow. And this is what I've been saying already for the last 4 minutes, okay? So same thing is coming through. Now, when I was saying about stability, I'm gonna just elaborate on this because it is coming up again. We have the 6 of Swords coming through, which is about moving away from the worst of it. This means that you've just come from something very chaotic. 5 of Swords, having to leave something behind, having to accept a loss in a situation, having to accept defeat in a situation here. Six of Swords is that moving away from that energy. It is an unstable energy. You're having to take lessons with you. You're having to learn these along the way, but you're not yet at that land. And of course, that earth energy is what kind of represents that stability. But at the moment, we're on this water. We're moving towards something calmer, which is nice. But the Six of Swords is always a temporary situation. It's a temporary journey before you then reach the new. It's like you're in in-between stage, which is great to have with the Judgment card, because that is what it is. You're currently in a situation where you're not yet at where you want to be. You're not yet in a new beginning, but you're in the beginning of the beginning. Does that make any sense to you, Scorpio? It's like you're in this temporary situation. Like you've just ended something, but you're not there anymore, which is great. But you're not yet at the new stable beginning that you want. So you're in the in-between stages. And this is what the Judgment is about before we reach the Wild card. As part of the Fool's journey here is we have to learn a lesson of something first. We have to put it into practice first. We have to learn a lesson of what the past taught us here, what we've learned along the way. But to change the way that we may have dealt with a situation before we get to the new beginning is learning new habits. You guys are in this like molding energy. I don't know what they're trying to teach me, so I do apologize for being a little bit unstable with my approach to this. But I feel like this is like a trial and error energy that you're currently going through. But you've moved away from the worst of it, which is the good thing. And then we have that Knight of Wands energy, which is another card of travel, by the way. This is where that very strong traveling energy was coming through. But as you can see, this is movement on the land. So this is where the more optimistic energy is coming through. So I think I'm hearing like you're being graceful with this situation, but you may not be very happy even now. Even though you've moved away from something, it's normal, don't worry. Like, I'm just trying to piece together what I'm seeing. You'll feel more positive when you're more stable. And I think this is something that you might be telling yourself and you might be aware of. But Knight of Wands, you're going to have more energy. By the way, when you have reached land, I keep seeing it like this, but when you've reached a stable position, some of you are going to be getting that calling, that you are going to get that stable outcome to a situation. This could be moving home. All right, again, having, some of you might even be a sense of travel, like a transportation. You guys could be getting a new car, Scorpio, or something to do with transportation. It could even just be a bike or something, But anyways, you're moving forward. That's basically what I want to say. You're learning a lesson of the past. You are becoming more optimistic. I think this is an energy that you will be moving into. I love the imagery here now all of a sudden, because these are things I've never seen in a reading before. So Six of Swords, as you can see, he's actually got that wand with him. So whatever you're learning at this time, whatever you're using, like that optimism that you're using, you're going to really run with it in the future. And I think this time, you may not realize it now, but definitely within the next few weeks, you're going to realize that what you've been using to push yourself forward with, you might actually be able to use in the next chapter of your life. So these experiences mean something. This optimism that you have, you will continue to have. All right, this is something very special about you. His Scorpio is how you're handling the situation. Okay, some of you could be helping others at this time too, or that will be something that you are going to be doing eventually. Okay. Anyways, some of you guys could be learning something new, or will be going in the future. This doesn't feel like now, but some of you could be, but this feels like maybe long term for you guys. You could be teaching people eventually, all right, within the next few years. Okay, then we have the Wheel of Fortune coming through, which is things are gonna start to shift. All right, it's like the wheel is always turning. This is a Wheel of Fortune, so good things are going to be coming here, and I will explain why I can see that. So if you've been through something very difficult, then it's only inevitable that some good things are bound to happen for you. So don't worry. It is Jupiter ruled, which is very similar to this 9th house energy and the Knight of Wands. So you are going to be coming across a lot of luck and a lot of optimism. So if you're not there now, you're moving towards it. All right, this is where movement is coming through, if it's not physical movement, okay, or travel. So after this Wheel of Fortune happens and something shifts in the fates, which is funny because that is a card that you have here. The universe seems to be doing something here, and it seems to be putting you in a very stable, very powerful position. Some of you could be business owners, all right, in the future or now. This is where you're taking more action on your leadership skills, more action in general in your life. So if you felt a little bit inhibited now, so why this coming to mind, if you felt a little bit like you were restricted now to take certain action or to be able to step into this leadership role, then in time this is going to be changing. You might right now be reliant on other people, and this is what that Six of Swords energy is, this temporary situation whilst you're moving forward, having to rely on others, having to listen to other people's opinions, not really knowing what the next step is for yourself. This could again just be relying on the universe to take you somewhere because you have no clue where you're supposed to go, okay? Or on other people who have experience, all right? Could be trusting in other people's advice at this time, or this is a period of growing and learning, which is why we're represented by the baby polar bear in this card. So you may be in this energy now, but you will not be forever, okay? You're going to feel like you've learned a lot in this current time. So as much as things will be moving forward and you will be in a very powerful position, very stable position, you will get that Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. All right, for some of you, this could be a divine partner that you could be trying to manifest. If not, this could just be being in that position for yourself. Okay, you will get there, but right now, maybe this is where Spirit is trying to say, acknowledge this fear that you feel, which might be making you want to rush things. Might be making you might be making decisions that might not be the best for you because it is coming from a place of fear. This is where acceptance comes through and says, I'm learning to accept the things I cannot change. And right now, you cannot change the past. You cannot change what you came from. You cannot change the decisions that you made or how you reacted. What you can change is what you're doing now. And I think this is why they're emphasizing the fact that you're still in this moldable position. You don't always have to be this way. Do not always have to deal with situations the way that you've dealt with them, for good or for bad. Like sometimes, for example, if in the past it was people pleasing or it was some sort of codependency, then what you're learning now is that it didn't help you in the past. It's not going to help you moving forward. So Six of Swords energy is giving you an opportunity to change that, to learn from this, to be optimistic about it, because you have the ability to change. And this is where maybe the fates is coming through, that when you do some things differently, when you learn a lesson, you change the next outcome. And for a lot of you, you're changing it for the better, to be in a wish fulfillment energy, okay? You then have fork in the road, and then we have this blessed energy. So again, in your current energy, it does feel like maybe things aren't very stable. The fork in the road is like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. There's a lot going on around you, a lot of distractions, a lot of chaos, which is represented by this monkey here as well. A lot of decisions to be made, a lot of different things. There are a lot of different things that you're having to come to a decision about, but you may not have all the resources yet to make this decision. You may not have what you need to be able to, or have the confidence in yourself to make a decision. So you may feel stuck right now, or you may just feel stuck in general based on what's going on in your life. But the blessed card is interesting because this is like a hidden feeling. Some of you could be dealing with headaches right now, or like be careful of banging your head here or something. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, all right? But it just feels like I'm getting a bit of tender spot behind my head, okay? Be careful of that. Or headaches, all right? Anyway. So this blessed energy is like always a card of dodging a bullet. You know, sometimes we want to be in the flow of life. We want things to change now. We want things our way now, which is where I've been saying we're needing to feel flexible. This fear, this rush, this urgency, this I need to make a decision. I just don't know if this feeling of stuck hopelessness is coming through here. But this is all saying that you are moving forward. The Two to Sea card is very similar to that Six of Swords. Being on a journey, not being on something stable just yet, but moving that way, having to deal with your emotions of your current circumstances that you may not be able to change right now. But the blessed energy is about finding gratitude in currently where you are at, because when we are in a rush to get into the flow, what we don't realize is actually you might not be fully prepared for it just yet. There's something that you are growing within yourself or learning within yourself that will benefit you in making decisions later on rather than now. Does that make sense? There's a huge emphasis on don't rush your current situation, because it's going to happen in divine timing anyway. It's what the Wheel of Fortune is about. But if we're rushing something, we're not paying attention to the present moment. We're not going to see opportunities when they arise. We're not going to learn the lessons that we need to learn. We may rush into something that ends up kind of backlashing on us, you know? So this is about trusting in others, trusting in something to help you, letting yourself be guided at this time, letting other people help you at this time. Accepting that, accepting the help that you may need to give to yourself at this time before making decisions, before rushing a decision here. So if you're feeling stuck, I understand. You may be really wanting a decision, wanting it now, but Spirit's saying this will come in the perfect timing it needs to. And it will be very, very rewarding for you. Just don't rush the lessons that you need to learn now. Very similar to what I was saying to Pisces, actually, in a sense that everything is going to be okay. Rushing things is only going to make things worse. You're just going to dive into things when you're not ready for it, you know. So you have 4 of Wands, which is everything's going to be okay. You're going to get justice from a situation, all right? So if any of you are dealing with legal situations, you're going to have a lot of happy news with this, okay? This is just in general as well, like, because you're standing in your truth, apologies. If you're standing in your truth and you're being balanced when it comes down to things, which is what it feels like you need to do right now, then the 4 of Wands is that it's a celebration card. It's good news. It's something to celebrate. It's like a happiness. All right. Anything else for Scorpio this week? Knight of Cups here. 2 of Pentacles. Again, having to balance emotions here. So we have the Hierophant and the Devil card, okay? Some of you may be battling some feelings that you may have had with someone who you've had a very toxic relationship with, okay? Some of you may have some trust issues on whether something is good for you or not. Like, as you can see here, these energies are very similar. All I'm going to say is just be careful of who you trust here, okay? And be careful of sit in your feelings for a little while. I think this is where they're saying here, don't rush anything this week for you, Scorpio, because your emotions here might need some contemplating and grounding before you do something, because you have the Hierophant, you have the Devil, and both of these have kind of course, one is seen as good and one is seen as bad. And I do this because good and bad, I guess, is an opinion. It depends on your perspective. But this Hierophant energy is more about freedom. Even though it's obedience and discipline, it has freedom compared to the Devil energy, which is about control. So just make sure you're not trying to control anyone or any situation or even yourself. It's good to have discipline. It's good to have structure. It's good to look up to something as long as it is not controlling. When it comes down to relationships, the same thing applies. Our feelings may be there. I just feel this temptation to sit with it for a little bit, because there is temptation to go back to something that may have been controlling because you're wanting some commitment. Again, be careful of any opportunities that are coming your way as well. It could be work, could be anything here. Read between the lines. Sit with this decision. Do not make it based on impulse. Do not make this based on emotions. This is saying here that there is an opportunity, maybe 2 opportunities here. One seems like it's got more restrictions and control, and one feels more like there are some, we may have to obey to certain rules or be more disciplined, which may be difficult. But this actually has more growth. It has its education. It's going to teach you something, whereas something else wants to keep you stuck. Okay, that was very long-winded. I hope you guys make sense in terms of relationships. Okay, someone may be coming through saying that they might want to change, but this Devil energy is still lingering behind it. Okay, there's not good intentions here. Or there could be 2 people. Again, one is more about respect and one's more about commitment, but respect being there, and one's about obedience and things being one way. Yeah, anyways, I think I've just reiterated myself enough times for you to understand that something may not be 100% for you. At first it may seem like it, but really when you look at it, it has an element of that Devil energy, like not wanting you to grow, just wanting you to obey, you know? So take that as you wish. Six of Cups, past energy. We did just say that. This could be with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Scorpio energy coming through as well. It doesn't have to be, of course. But the Death card, King of Swords, Six of Cups. This is a past energy. This has ended, but there might be some feelings still lingering. All right, which could cause a confusion here. It could be someone confessing their feelings. It could be just bringing up some things from the past. But the King of Swords, we're gonna have to be very, very logical about this, not being in our feelings, because Six of Cups, yeah, there are still something there. But the Death card, this is over, and going back to this is not going to help you, okay? So just be aware of this. Going back to what you just ran away from is, of course, not good for you, because you ran away from it for a reason. Anyway, anything else? Knight of Wands, all right, I feel like I'm hearing be on your A game. Be on your A game, Scorpio. Pay attention. Knight of Wands says you've been hurt before. You've been mistreated, all right? There's a lot of pain that comes with this card. It's the wounded warrior. You've been through a lot in your life. Let's just say that, all right? But this brings in an incredible amount of strength, all right? You didn't deserve what you went through, but it has happened. And the Knight of Wands is like, just make sure you protect yourself so that these things don't happen again, or that you're prepared just in case it does, all right? This Knight of Wands is very Scorpio energy. It's maybe about not trusting everything that you see. I think that this is actually more about you're placing a lot of boundaries. You're protecting your energy. Eight of Pentacles is you're working on yourself. Maybe you're working on your finances. You're working on your skills, your abilities. Maybe you're working on your assets. All right, there's a lot that you're building at this time. Two of Wands is for your future, okay? You're expanding yourself. So just be careful. This is again that past energy of what you're letting back into your life. Be like, this is a card I'm kind of feeling like vetting, you know? It's kind of like, make sure you do your background checks. That's what I feel like. Make sure that you really look at someone's history, someone's background, like someone's, you know, who they are before you let them in. And I don't have to say that to a Scorpio, because Scorpios are known for doing that anyway, but I feel like it's just about make sure you are careful with who you're letting into your energy, because this is saying that you're focusing or being called to focus on your current energy, building yourself up, stabilizing yourself even in an unstable situation, so that you're prepared for the next chapter of your life, which will come in, I feel like, within the next couple of months. 2 is specifically coming through. Yeah, number 2, as I'm saying that, love it. Only because of the blessed card, as well as 2 as well. So if you see that number, then it's a sign that your next chapter is coming through very quickly. And we have the number 2 as well when it comes down to your future as well. Your next chapter is coming in quite soon. So this is why I think it being called to learn these lessons. So whilst you're working on yourself, pay attention to everything. I forgot what I was actually going to talk about, but pay attention to who you're letting into your energy, because this time is very, I'm going to say, crucial for the next chapter. Okay, what you learn and how you grow in this time is, of course, going to have an effect on the next chapter. If you learn everything you need to learn and go into the next chapter ready for it, prepared for it, then of course it's going to be more smooth running than if you spend this time blaming, denying, not accepting, and just being fearful. Of course, we can't help it, but I will try to give you some advice in a second. But if we're running it like that, the next chapter, we're going to be very rocky. Even though it's stable, we're going to be unstable within ourselves. So I really feel like this time is more about your mental, spiritual well-being. Your physical world might not be 110% correct or the way you want it to be. I do see movement coming through again. Like, things will change in the next couple of months anyways for you to become more stable. But right now, what you need to focus on is preparing yourself for that, okay? Just really what is coming through. So it's hard to accept that we can't change some things, but again, when we understand that, when we stabilize ourselves now, it benefits us in the future when things are going to work out. It's about allowing yourself to trust in, again, the universe, to rely on the universe, to rely on the fates. Easier said than done, I know. I'm a human being too. I go through similar things too, so I get it. I'm not just saying it because it's good advice. I'm saying it because I know it will work. And it's something that we all have to practice from time and time again. It never comes easy. For most people anyway. Again, I'm like you, Scorpio. It's hard for me to accept things too. However, when you understand it's for a greater benefit for yourself and for what it is that you're building, and use that more as inspiration, then as fear or something that makes you fearful or like you're out of control. Sometimes it's okay to be out of control. Why? Because sometimes someone else knows more than you. Sometimes the universe knows more than you about where it is that you're going. All right, so this is about accepting that something is just beyond us right now, and that's actually sometimes okay. So yes, anyways, focus on things that bring you happiness, focus on things that motivate you, focus on things that inspire you, and this will be smooth running. Again, as I said, it will not be completely smooth, but it'll be a lot smoother than if you're thrashing around and not trusting in yourself to overcome some things. As I said, you've been through a lot, okay? So, and you've been able to cope with a lot. Sometimes just looking at who you are as a person might actually just, I feel like you need to remember who you are, Scorpio. That's what's coming through, okay, for this week. Okay, we have past life relationship coming through in your love life. We have trust and stay optimistic about your love life. So it feels like you're attracting in somebody here who you may feel familiar with straight away, even though this is new to you. It feels like a new person, by the way. But there's a familiar energy. That's because you've met each other before in another lifetime. We have trust coming through. All right, the situation is calling for you to have faith. You have to stay optimistic about your love life as well. Okay, this is happening very soon. Maybe that's what's going to be happening in the next couple of months for you guys. Okay, one more card for love for Scorpio. You deserve love. Here we go. Absolutely. You are lovable, Scorpio. All right. You just have to believe that within yourself so that you know when other people are treating you less than what you expect, then we can move away from them. Okay. Anyone already in relationships that need to know something? We have new love. So a new person. It just feels like you guys are either inviting new energies into your love life. And it says this could be the one. So for a lot of you, I feel like your relationship, if you're already in one, is moving to the next levels. This is the one for you. So that's really great confirmation. For those of you who are single, you're about to meet someone that you have decided to join again in this lifetime with, which means it was good. All right. So that's great. Let's pull you some tea leaf tarot as well. All right. For Scorpio, yeah, we did have that, the devil energy. Well, we have the apple, temptation will test you again. There are some people coming through again. We have February. That is 2 months from now. Something very important is coming through in February. Pay attention. I've been saying it during the reading. It came through. This is just clarifying it even more, okay? Okay, we have scissors. Again, this is cutting something out. Disappointment in some affair. You had to move away from something. You had to cut something off. Okay, we have wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something that you want here. So maybe we're having to cut some people out here who are trying to get in the way of our success. This may be difficult for you. We have teardrops here. Great personal sorrow. But maybe you're understanding that maybe someone isn't really who they said they were. Pleasure with a close friend coming through here as well. It could be this friend actually that is starting to get in a way, like the wedge is something about this blocking you. So you may be realizing that something is blocking you here and you're having to cut that off. When you cut that off, you're going to get some great good fortune. Yeah, finger is coming through as well, which is warning you of a problem even now or in the near future. And this is speaking of February. Doesn't have to be a problem though. Position of authority. In February, you're going to find yourself in a position of authority. There's a carriage here in dolphin, which is good. It says a journey, either physical or mental. And we have financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. You guys are getting good karma. Yeah, you're going to get some good advice from a wise person here about someone who is undependable and insincere and could be dealing with some mental health issues at this time, okay? Or health issues in general, okay? This person could be struggling. Or maybe it feels mental. It feels like maybe they are just undependable and insincere, and maybe they have something like a narcissistic, that's just like a mental thing as well, you know? Like a mental thing. I could be better with my words, especially on topics like this, but you know what I'm saying. I'm not very graceful with this stuff, with speaking on the spot, but you're going to be getting some good advice. It's going to help you see something differently, and maybe this is what's going to help you cut something off here. I want to see something good about what is happening in February, because you're going to realize that was the right timing. climbing towards success. Look, beautiful. So the next stage, as I was saying, is happening in secret admirer. Some of you are gonna be in a relationship in February. By the way, look at this. Hot love, deep affection, and caring and psychic ability. Trust your intuition. Good luck. Wish you all the best. Love you, Scorpio. Sending you my love. Sending you I'm just going to say very quickly, because it just came to me, for those who are already dealing with love, then February is going to be a time where you could be really like deepening your connection, doing something like the next chapter for your relationship. But yeah, love you guys. I wish you all the best. I'm sending you all my love. Enjoy. This is a very long reading. I knew it would be, because there's a lot of messages for you guys, but I hope it helped in some way. Love you. Wish you all the best. See you next time.